A lot of people ask me about the food shortages of 2019. And I hope you stay tuned to listen, because I'm going to share with you practical insight, plus I'm going to share with you something that you can make yourself that's going to help you if a food shortage would ever come. Food shortages in the United States of America? But what do you do if you don't have any money to go out and buy hordes and hordes of food? Today I'm going to share with you a poor man's guide to providing for food in case you have a shortage. Back everybody. Oh my goodness, I've had so many requests on the food shortages of 2019, and what do I think about them? Well, you know, I don't know if we're going to have a whole lot of food shortages. You know, they're talking about it because of the weather, they're talking about it because of different aspects out in the South. But I'm just going to share with you a little bit of my concept and a little bit about what I feel about food shortages or anything in general. As you know, I'm a foodie. As you know, I have devoted more than half of my time into preparing food. In fact, I just came back from that place where I get all of my food that right before it's going to be thrown away. I got a truckload of it. You won't believe what I got this month. You are going to be shocked. And I'm so blessed by it because I don't go to the grocery store anymore. I have no need to go to the grocery store other than for milk. I don't need to be buying regular food. So the food shortages of 2019. The food shortages of 2019, you know, is a humdrum of all of YouTube channels. Prepare now, you know, you never know, and it's true. But to put fear in people's hearts is not going to get you anywhere, because a lot of times when people have fear in their hearts, they freeze up and they just don't do anything. So I'm going to say it like this. What would you do if you couldn't get out to the grocery store? Let's just say you were in an accident, or let's just say you had no way of getting there, you couldn't drive. What would you do in that situation? So having food really does make you more alert about the need of having to go out on the road. What happens if there is a lot of chaos outside your four walls? What happens if there's, you know, storms, or there's ways you can't get out? Having a food storage should be your #1 goal, because you have insurance on your cars, you have insurance on your life, you have insurance in your houses, but where's the insurance of your food? You can't go long without water, and you surely can't go long without food. That should be your top priority. I know a lot of the people on my channel are older, and so they can't garden and they can't can hundreds of quarts of food. What can you do? What can you do if you don't have money? What can you do if you don't have the ability to do all of the food canning that I do? So I'm going to share with you in the kitchen some practical steps about how you can have a little bit more food safety if there would ever be a food shortage. So let's get in the kitchen. I'm going to share with you a practical way to buy a little bit of food and a practical way that you can make it. So here we are in the kitchen. So I'm going to share with you how you can have food storage for pennies to start with. And that is going by the Dollar Tree or going by a Walmart and getting beans and rice and oatmeal. Now, you want to get food that's high mileage. And what is high mileage? High mileage is a food that is going to give you nutrition, it's going to give you energy, and it's going to be very frugal, and it's going to be something that is very good for your body. You don't want to stock up on things that are low mileage. In other words, sugars and things like that, that you're going to really consume, and quickly it's going to evaporate. So what we're going to talk about today is beans and rice and oatmeal. So we have beans here. These are black beans. And I buy these at the Dollar Tree for $1. Now I vacuum seal them, but you don't need to. But I do that. I vacuum seal my black beans, but you don't need to do that. The reason why I do it is just so I have long-term storage. I take my beans and then I can my beans. Now, a lot of you can't can, you don't want a can, then you could go ahead and buy a can of beans. But if you buy them this way, it's going to be a lot cheaper for you. So we have beans and we have rice.
But a lot of people don't talk about, what do you do with your beans and rice? Okay, I buy beans and rice, but what are you going to do with 50 pounds of beans and 50 pounds of rice when you're not used to making it? This is the key. When you have a food storage, you really want to stock up on all kinds of herbs and spices. You want to stock up on all kinds of seasonings. You want to do seasonings, any kind, all kinds. Because if you're stuck with eating beans and rice, you're going to need to have different flavors. I make my own seasonings, but you go to the Dollar Tree. You get onion seasonings, you get Italian seasonings, you mix it together, and it's just like this. So you mix a bunch of seasonings together, then you have an all-purpose seasoning for your beans and rice. I dry my things, so this here is spring onion tops. I dry them. With beans and rice, there's hundreds and hundreds of ways you can make it. You can add a can of chicken to it. You can add a can of sloppy joe or beef barbecue to it. You can have it as a vegetarian and have vegetables to it. I really want to emphasize it's important to have some kind of books that show you how to do things. Because what happens if we wouldn't have electricity? Do you know how to cook your beans and rice outside at a stove, or outside on top of a grill, or on top of a fire like you've seen me do? This book I am really recommending, and it's called 366 Delicious Ways to Cook Rice, Beans, and Grains. So I'm going to see if I can find the link to this book. This book is amazing, and when you get it used, you can get it really cheap. 366 ways to make beans and rice, and it's perfect. So today I'm going to show you making beans and rice. Now most of you know how to make that, but I'm going to share with you just a little twist on how I make it and how we could probably eat beans and rice almost every day of the week, because there's so many different ways you can make it. And by going to the Dollar Tree or Walmart, buy yourself $10 worth each week. You won't believe what difference it would make. And find yourself a book, or start now and copying recipes out of the internet and making your own little binder. It can be a lot of fun. I don't know if there's going to be food shortages. I don't know what tomorrow holds. But for me, in my house, I want to have food storage. That is something very important to me. That is something that I am very passionate about. As you all know, I am a foodie and I love just preserving food. So let's get started, and I'm going to make you some beans and rice today. Show you it doesn't have to be bland or horrible. It's actually something you might even crave. Alright, I'm going to end this video with sharing with you just one way that I like to have beans and rice. Guys, tomorrow, yum yum. Now that's a winter dinner.